For today's lecture of dam engineering, we are going to take a look at arch dam. Okay. So the content for the topic is we are going to take a look at introductory part, then we will see geometrical classification and shape classification of arch dam. Then we are going to take a look at advantage and disadvantage of having a structure as arch dam. Then we will take a look at the forces that act on an arch dam. Okay, so let's start. So, specifically speaking, a concrete dam with a thin cross section whose curvature can be seen in plan is called as arch dam. Okay, and the stability achievement of arch dam is by virtue of thrust action via arch action on the abutments or side support. Okay, then hydrostatic force, the major force that acts on a dam, that acts on any dam, is transferred to the support by virtue of the arching action and the cantilever action. Okay, and this dam, the arch dam, is suitable in narrow gauges where strong abutments, that is strong side supports, are available. Okay, then let's take a look at how the arch action is utilized here. A narrow span has been shown between these two support, okay, and over the two support a paper has been kept, and over the paper a load is kept. Okay, now see, you can directly see this thin paper, okay, it is experiencing bending, okay, because of the loading. Now let's see what happen if we try to provide an arch over here in between these two side support. Okay, now see what we have done. We have introduced an arch over here. Okay, it is made up of the same material. Okay, for this small experiment we have used a paper sheet, and the arch is also made up of the same paper sheet. But now you can directly see that the load that has been kept on the span is not causing any sagging. Okay, it is not causing any bending action on the span. Okay, previously the paper literally got sagged, it bent because of the load acting on it. But now what has happened, the arch present here is now carrying the thrust. Okay, whatever the load that is coming on this span is being carried to the strong abutments or the strong side support. That's why for the same span we can increase the stability, we can increase the load carrying capacity by having an arch here. Okay, now in this example we have also increased the load, but still the sagging is very less as it was previously in where arch was not provided. Okay, this is the strength of arch, this is the arching action we are talking about, and the full benefit of this arching action is taken while we are designing the arch dam. Okay, but the only thing is the support here should be very strong. The only requirement of an arch dam is that the side support or the abutment that we call them should be very sound and strong. Okay, now let's see how the how the arch dam has been classified based on shape. Okay, there are three prominent shape criteria that divides the arch dam into three criteria. Okay, see, this is the single curvature arch dam. Single curvature means the only curvature which is provided in the dam is on the plan. Okay, only from the plan, only from the top view you will be seeing the curvature of that arch dam. Okay, it possesses only one curvature. If you see the same dam in elevation or in front view, it will look like a rectangle. Okay, if you cut a section over here, it will look like a thin rectangle, but only in plan you can experience what kind of curvature has been introduced for the construction of this arch dam. Then double curvature arch dam, which is also known as cupola dam. Okay, the Idukki dam in Kerala in India is a cupola dam or double curvature arch dam. Okay, you can see the curvature in plan also and in section also, but in elevation, but in front view it will appear as a rectangle only. Okay, it acts as two curved arch dam. Okay, there are two curvatures which are introduced in the double curvature arch dam, or which is called as cupola dam. Then the third type, which is arch gravity dam, means the stability achievement here is because of self-weight as well as arching action. Okay, the world famous example of arch gravity dam is Hoover Dam. Okay, it is combination of what? Arch dam, arching action is used for stability, as well as the gravity action, means the self-weight force is also taken into account for its stability achievement. Okay, then arch classification based on shape, and now we are looking at the example. The single curvature dam is shown here, which is Contra Dam, which is situated on Varzaska river in the country of Switzerland. It is example of single curvature arch dam. Okay, then the Idukki Dam, which is constructed on Periyar river in the state of Kerala in the country India, it is a double curvature arch dam. Means in cross section you can see the curvature of the dam, also in plan you can see the curvature of the dam. Means along x axis also and along y axis also curvature for the dam exists. Okay, now the famous example, world famous thing, Hoover Dam, which has been constructed on the Colorado River in the country USA. It is example of arch gravity dam. It consists of its constituent stability forces are derived from the two parameters, that is the curvature action, that is arching action, and the force of gravity, which is attained by increasing the mass of the dam. Okay, it is combination of both. Okay, in movie culture also, in pop culture also, iconic dam sites have been shown as the arch dam. In the movie Transformer, in the movie San Andreas, then in the movie Superman, Hoover Dam has been shown as the prominent civil engineering wonder. Okay, in the Indian movie Dhoom 3, the Contra Dam has been shown, and in the movie GoldenEye, in which James Bond is shown to have a bungee jump, it is the Contra Dam. Okay, means arch dam have also been gained their popularity in popular culture also. Now let's take a look at how geometrically these arch dams have been classified. Now we are looking at a constant radius arch dam. To imagine this dam, you can imagine the dam as a section of a regular radius cylinder. Okay, it looks like a part of a cylinder. It has got its look like it has been cut from a regular cylinder which has a constant radius. Okay, the center point is referred, and from the center point, whatever be the section, whatever be the portion of the dam, the reference point is kept as same, and it has the same radius of curvature, whatever be the elevation, whatever be the point you are taking look inside the dam. Okay, it is what? Constant radius arch dam. The second type is variable radius arch dam. Just now we saw constant radius, now we are taking a look at variable radius arch dam. In that, the center line is given, and on the center line circles of varying radius are drawn out, and with reference to those circles, the different layers of the arch dams are constructed. Okay, now the third type is based on geometry. Arch dam is also a constant angle arch dam, in which center line is provided and an angle is kept constant throughout the construction of the dam. Okay, in this example, phi is kept as 133 degree. Means on this center line, the two sides are kept such that the included angle between them remains the same throughout the given levels. Okay, let's say n number of levels are there, and each layer maintains the angle 133 degree in between the two extreme ends. Okay, this is how arch dam has been classified on the basis of geometry. Then let's take a look at what are the advantages of arch dam over other types of dam, or just general advantages of arch dam. Now, even the narrow section which may not be suitable for other kind of dam are suitable for arch dam. They can have their construction done even in narrow gorges, in narrow sections. Then, since the cross section of this dam is less, Okay, it has very thin cross section. That's why material requirements, specifically we are talking about concrete here. Okay, and since concrete requirements are less, it result into economy of resources. Okay, less material is required, less workmanship will be required, and that's why less money will be involved. Okay, then it has less base width, thus the problems of uplift pressures are minor. See, the R dam is having less self weight. Also, the portion which is in contact with the ground is very thin, is very small. That's why the uplift pressure which is acting on R dam is very less as compared to a concrete gravity dam. Okay, then load transfer takes place by arch action and cantilever action. Okay, most of the hydrostatic load is transferred to the abutment by the arch action by the periphery of the arch dam, and the remaining water load is transferred to the ground by the cantilever action. Okay, that's why the strength of foundation required, as in case of arch dam, is less as compared to the concrete gravity dam. Concrete gravity dam or generally gravity dam require a very strong foundation. Okay, but in case of arch dam, when we are talking about arch dam, the foundation requirements are less. Then we are going to take a look at disadvantages of arch dam. Now see, when we are talking about a thin section being constructed to retain the same hydrostatic force as retained by a concrete gravity dam, then the complexity in construction, the complexity in design, the complexity in planning, all these things are very tedious. That's why the design requirement, the labor requirements, and the formwork requirement also in case of arch dam have their main problem. Okay, the skilled labor is required, proper planning is required, and very cautious design is required. Okay, which increases the time span for design, thus put a strain on the budget also. Then the speed of construction is very slow. Okay, we have to construct the arch dam layer by layer with respect to the angle, with respect to the center, with respect to the maintenance of the radius of the curvature that we planned for that specific layer. That's why the speed of construction is very low. Then when we said that the foundation requirements of the arch dam are low, but it has its contradiction with that the abutments, the side support of the arch dam should be very sound, should be very strong. Okay, even if one of the abutment is weak with respect to the other abutment, then we have to treat the location, we have to make some sounding, we have to make the abutment strong by some artificial means, otherwise we have to just simply reject the site. Okay, that's why the abutment should be strong, should be very sound, and should be able to resist the arch thrust or the arching action. Okay, then let's take a look at what are the various forces that act on an arch dam. The dominant, the first and the foremost force which acts on any dam, and also in the case of arch dam, is hydrostatic pressure. Okay, the hydrostatic pressure is retained by the arch dam by virtue of its arching action. Most of the hydrostatic pressure is counteracted by the arching action, and the remaining pressure is counteracted by or is retained by the cantilever action that takes place in between the foundation and the standing cantilever section of the arch dam. Okay, now uplift pressure. Although the uplift pressure is not that much prominent as in case of gravity dam for the arch dam, but still we have to take care of the uplift pressure and all the uplift forces that are trying to displace the arch dam. Okay, then temperature stresses are one of the prominent forces that need to be taken care of while designing and while maintaining an arch dam, because when we are talking about a thin cross section of concrete, what is going to happen in case of summer? The arch is going to expand, although in a small manner, but it is going to put a very tremendous amount of stress on the side support or on the abutments. Okay, and in the winter the concrete is going to contract, and that's why the yielding of the abutment, the variation in the stress amount on the abutment is going to change. That's why we have to make sure that the temperature stresses which are taking place inside the body of an arch dam are within the limits. Okay, they should be taken care properly. Then ice pressure. See, this ice pressure is a problem where winter seasons are dominant, or where the temperature goes below freezing, and the ice pressure is only the problem at the top of the arch dam, because ice formation takes place in the reservoir on the top only. That's why the top portion of the arch dam is subjected to ice pressure. Okay, so that was all regarding the classification, then the forces acting, then the types of arch dam dependent on shape and dependent on geometry. So in next lecture we are going to take a look at the buttress dam, the classification, the forces acting, and the design of buttress dam. Till then, thanks for watching. Stay home, stay safe. Bye.